the efforts of others. We go into space because whatever mankind must undertake, free men must fully share. This decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. It will not be one man going to the moon. It will be an entire nation.
Well, good evening, everyone. How are we doing? I am super glad you guys are here. I'm going to go and put my computer on performance mode so I can hopefully have a smooth live stream. I'm here to chat. And I think we're going to make up a Mead tonight too, but how can there be likes already with no show? What do you mean, M. Smith? That just means people enjoy the channel. Which, on that note, if you'd like to hit like, it will help the YouTube algorithm grow. So, I would love to encourage you to do that. How's everybody doing? I am doing pretty great. Got myself set up for a fun live stream. I haven't done a live stream in a while. I've really got I got two fancy things. Ready for this? This is high tech. Got this guy. We got this guy. Because I'm going to be using this camera in a little bit to make a Mead. Now this is like a behind the scenes camera. You're seeing the whole shebang. So sorry if that's killing the vibe. But we are fancy tonight. I planned as best as I could. Now does that mean that this will be a great stream? If you've watched my streams previously, something always explodes. Actually, literally. What's everybody making? Fancy made. I'm trying my best. What's everybody got going on in your brew house? I've got too much going on, arguably. I shouldn't be starting. Honestly, I shouldn't be starting another Mead. I literally do not have any more 1 gallon carboys, which you guys, neither camera can really show it well right now, but so I've got, I don't know how many, 16, 18 1 gallon carboys, and they're all in use right now. So, yeah. Cheers from Vermont. Thank you. Cheers from Vermont. That's fun. You should go hang out with Ricky Klein. Buckeye State. Oh man. Yeah, I'm trying to step up my camera game some. Obviously tonight's a testimony, trying to be famous, trying to be fancy. Going back and forth right for this. I can't do it that efficiently, but we're trying to be real fancy, and we'll get there eventually. I ran out of 1 gallon carboys, so I literally I'm not resorting to buckets, but I'm having to use a 1 gallon bucket tonight because I don't have any more carboys. But it'll work out because we're making later on we're gonna make a pineapple mead. This is from a pineapple that I had sitting around for a while, and it was ripe enough, so I cut it up, and then I've honestly just tonight I've been hand juicing these pieces, hoping to get as much as I can out of it without breaking the bag. So I think this is about 2 pounds of pineapple. Hello from Australia. Woo! What time is it in Australia? Oh, I guess you're way ahead. You're probably in the morning. Dang. Butterbeer Bochet. That sounds great. Wow. Good evening. Good evening. Hello from Louisiana. Texas Longhouse Mead has 6 gallons of Bochet. Acer Glen. I've tried his Bochet Acer Glen. Super good. 10 gallons lemon drop hop. 5 tart. Oh, man. Texas Longhouse Mead is busy. 16 carboys. Must have a lot of friends or should never get behind the wheel. I give away a lot of mead. And a lot of it turns into like tests and things. So like right now I've got 2 yeast shootouts going. Let's see if I can spoil without spoiling what I have going on. I've got 2 yeast shootouts. I've got 3 new kinds of honeys that I'm using, and most of them are like 2-parters. So I do a traditional and a mead recipe. I've got this Bochet test going on, which I don't know if you can see it, but it's over here. I put a picture on Instagram. Oh, I don't have my fancy light. There you go. I've got an interesting water chemistry test that's quite fun. A couple other things back in the back. I've been doing more personal mead making as well. I know that sounds weird, but like right next to me I have a blueberry and Mamane Blossom honey mead that's going, and it is fermenting on rum oak chips. And I'm not doing that for a video, which feels a little bit wrong for me, but I'm trying to do something different by like making meads and doing it for myself and not always for video. And so it's been kind of fun to get to brew stuff and not have the pressure of like having to talk about it. So, Jaden asked a question. How did you get started making mead? What made you want to start? Okay, so I wanted to make beer. And I'd moved for my first job out in the panhandle of Texas, and I was going to make beer. But then I saw all the equipment you needed, which really is not a lot of equipment, but it was enough to where I was like, man, I don't want to buy a big pot. I don't want to buy a stove for outside so that I can, not do it on my actual stove in my house, and had some other stuff. I ended up just saying, well, this is too much stuff. Look at this. This is mead, honey water yeast. Why not go ahead and do it? So I bought some stuff, and then I started the channel because I literally was like, I want to document the process of how I do this. So if you go back to the beginning of the channel, this is the first meads you see there are the first meads I ever made. So that was mead number 1. I just logged mead number 218 yesterday, 2 days ago. Any suggestions? Caleb says, I have a gallon of mead going with EC1118 and local wildflower honey. Any suggestions on like what to throw in the secondary? I mean, fruits are always great. Whatever kind of fruit you like. You can hop it, but I would suggest, I wouldn't do a hopped mead in that case. I would do a fruit. So maybe, I don't know. It depends on what kind of fruit you like. If you're a bright fruit citrus guy, or if you're a dark fruit, blueberry, raspberry, tart, all that stuff. Really depends on what you want to do. I store my meads and wines beside the bed. They're my babies. You go talk to my wife, because I have a whole, someone earlier said, I must never drive or whatever. I keep a basically Noah's Ark and sometimes more worth of mead. And so every single time I finish one, I keep at least 2 bottles back. So that means I have a lot of boxes of mead that are hiding places. And some of those boxes are shoved underneath the bed. And my wife is not a big fan of amount of mead found underneath the bed. So I would suggest find a closet. From one person to another, find a closet to hide more things. Hemp mead. I know there's a where is it? There's like a one of those vintner wine bases is hemp. It seems interesting. I store my meads in the closet for now. Caleb says he likes the citrus, just a little stump, too many options, I'm still new. Dude, I would go with something simple to get yourself going. I guess, Caleb, next question would be for you. How many gallons do you have? If you have multiple gallons, I would suggest trying to separate it out into maybe 2 or 3 things and throw different fruits in. Throw some apples into one. Throw blueberries into another. Throw cherry into another. See what you get. Noah's Ark Meadery. That's not a bad name. I have a great producing cherry tree. Make cherry. Ooh. I mean, that'd be fun to have a cherry tree in your backyard. Borgman, RC2 and 2. I recall an episode where you mentioned different strains consuming... Oh, you asked this... I think you asked this on a YouTube comment. I haven't gotten back to it. So, I don't know what the exact ABV of that Borgman is, but I want to say it's probably 14 to 16. If you're trying to finish fermenting out... you could throw something like an EC1118 in, which is a higher strength brew. Essentially, find any yeast that has a higher ABV cap than what you put in there, and it's kind of like Big Brother. You're calling in reinforcements, and those reinforcements will come in and beat up the rest of the sugars. If you do it right. You do have to make a yeast starter and some other things, so you can't just pitch them right in, because more than likely it won't work. Full Closet Brewery. I just have 1 gallon, but it's a good idea. I wouldn't split, Caleb. I would not split if it's less than 1 gallon, or if it is 1 gallon. I would just go with a fruit you like. Literally, think of any fruit you like. Get about 3 to 4 pounds of it at least, and you might have to chop them up or do something special, but try that. I'm sipping on a blonde imperial ale that I made out there. I've also been brewing beer recently. So I've been doing beer on the side, not really for videos, just for fun, and so I'm sipping on that. What's everyone else having? It's Saturday night. You got to have a drink in your hand. I'm about to switch, though, to something else I'll talk about in a moment. Really good to hear you're making things for yourself. That's where the fun is. Honestly, I love making videos. It is so fun. I love the editing and all that, but every once in a while, I just like to just make more stuff. And really, so I'm doing more recipe testing as part of it too. I don't want to just always make brews without having tested them. Now, I do a lot of that, honestly. I do a lot of just making things work. But stuff that I'm trying to master, for example, my apple cinnamon mead. I'm still kind of getting the little fine-tuning down. I'm making things behind the scenes. I got 5 gallons of it going right now. And I made something, one change. I'm trying to figure out a way to make it its best, at the most cost-effective way. Obviously, not going to do a video for every one of those. Really like the Mead Stampede heat check. That was, if you are, how many of you guys are interested in sending meads in Mead Stampede? We had a meeting today to talk about it, and I figured it'd be fun to see what you guys are doing. I'm going to switch to, this one is a big shout out to my friend Nathan Zangmeister. Nathan was the guy who won Best of Show at Mead Stampede for his Black Locust Traditional Mead. And then, we didn't know this at the time, we were the first ones to taste his mead for competition. He went and sent his to the Mazer Cup. He sent it to Valkyrie's Horn, and he got gold at Mazer Cup, at Mead Stampede, and at Valkyrie's Horn. And this is not the mead, but this is a mead he sent me. We've been kind of going back and forth collaborating on a project, and so he sent me some stuff. This is the Raspberry Muffin. It's a raspberry melomel this is why I picked this one tonight, with graham crackers. It's kind of cold here, so I thought it'd be interesting. But the graham crackers are what really got me. So I am very curious to see what this one's like. Have you used Lutra? I just picked up some. I've used Lutra right now. It is very good yeast. It is high nutrient needing, so you might have to double or triple your normal nutrient counts for Kvike. That's just kind of a standard blanket statement. So start a what? I don't understand what you're saying, Blaze. Can you send in more than one mead? Yes, you can send in. I think we're going to have a cap of 4 this year. And we're introducing something new that is going to be different. BC and I have decided we want to add kind of a challenge mead of sorts. And I'm not going to give you all the details right now, but essentially, this mead is one you're not going to be able to preemptively have made. You're going to have to make it as soon as we blast out the information. You're going to need to start this mead because it is a specific ingredient mead. So, that's all I'm going to say. Beautiful. How to make it a graham cracker. Oh, this thing looks great. Ooh. This is part. I'm going to send this to Nathan because I told him I would taste his meads. So I'm going to send him this. This is crazy. So what's so interesting about this, like if you've ever used graham crackers in a brew, they really do add a little bit of like a body change to something, but they also add some spice. So this has got some spice. This also has, it's raspberry, and it's got like a warm raspberry, which is interesting. Dude, this is good. Woo! It's also dangerous. It's 14%. I might have to sip on that slowly, or I'll be very toasty by the end of this live stream. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me back up on the chat a little bit. Someone said, "Have you ever made a tea mead?" I've never made just a straight tea mead, but I've used tea in meads to get flavor and also to sometimes add a little tannin. Blueberry coffee cake. That sounds great. Greetings from Connor says, "Greetings from jail." He says, "I'm a corrections officer. Good to see you're streaming." That's pretty fun. Streaming from jail. At first, I thought you would, Connor. So I have that cheap cheap juice into wine or cider video. That's like my biggest one, and I've had multiple comments on there that are like, "Watching this, so when I go to jail, I know how to make some hooch." That's quite interesting. So it's fun. Will you ever do a collaboration with City Steading? They mentioned you in a few videos, and that got me watching your channel. You know, I have no problem with doing stuff with them. I think it's more just a timing thing. It's hard. It is hard to collaborate, as I'm finding, with mead makers from other states. Like BC and I have a really easy time, honestly. But when you leave the same vicinity, it is real tough to collaborate, just because you have to manage it in a different way. So, in essence. Oh, I see. How does it work to send in a mead? I'm from Canada. I'm not sure that it will work. Well, essentially, you just need to ship whatever mead you want in whatever capacity you can to our shipping location. You'll have to, of course, sign up. There will be a website. There will be a website to sign up your mead. But you'll just have to ship it out. I'm missing some things. Love the challenge idea. Das Drandulet says 4:47 a.m. in Moscow. Hello. Cheers to you, my friend. Have you started drinking yet? It's almost 5. Making mead with elderflowers, chamomile, green tea, juniper berries, and oak. Woo, that's a lot of flavors. Toilet wine. What's up, Dogstick Fetch? Glad you're here. I'm making a maple apple pie mead fortified with Jameson's cold brew. Interesting. How did you do chocolate in a mead? Chocolate in a mead is normally done by like cacao nibs, and you toast them on a skillet, and then throw them in. And it normally adds a fair amount of flavor to the mix. Welcome. We got 38 people in the chat. Glad you all are here. I am going to do a little bit of multitasking now on my very small table. And we are going to... Let's see something real fast. I'm going to get rid of this chat box real fast. Think. Oops, sorry. This is why I don't change things on the fly. There it is. All right, so I'm going to... I switched my camera view, and I'm going to start this mead. Let me disable something real fast. Hopefully I have performance mode. Okay, so speaking of... someone said maple a moment ago. So I am using... Now, this is a weird one. This is maple honey. Now, don't ask me anything if this is how maple honey works, but I got this from Flying Bee Ranch. I think my camera's a little wonky. Woo. There we go. Oh shoot. Maple honey. We're going to make a pineapple in maple honey mead. Now, I've already got my water, so I got to do a little bit of jerry-rigging, so just be patient with me. This is why you're here to chat. Half of the reason we're here is so that you can chat with each other, not just me. So, Spiffy finally gives us the like. Okay, so I got a couple questions for you all. My first question is, have you already made a mead in 2022? Is my head getting cut off? No, okay. And if you have made a mead so far, I suggest, well, I would love for you to tell us what you made. Maple Blossom. Yeah, this is from Flying Bee Ranch, which is a super, super cool group. I think it's a family. I don't really know who owns it exactly, but they have some super interesting honeys. I need my... Woodbine mead. What? What is a woodbine mead? That is news to me. I gotta weigh out some honey. It should only take a second. I'm literally just throwing things into here. Bill says, what do you do for a living? I am a teacher. That is what I do for a living. Got lots of people who've made a mead so far. Oh no, this is leaking. Crap. Hold on, I gotta move quick. My pineapple is leaking. I'm getting 2 pounds of honey. It's a little crystallized. What a beautiful sight. Don't you just love chunky honey? Come on, buddy. This is some weird level of ASMR. Sorry, y'all. Alright, so someone said we got a sweet potato mead. How on earth do you make a sweet potato mead? Do you just boil a bunch of sweet potatoes? Do you bake them? That seems very interesting. Someone else says they're making a blueberry hydromel. That sounds great. Someone's got 3 things going: a traditional orange and white oak spiral and rose mead. Sweet. Renee has butterbeer, traditional session mead. Ah, man. I'm gonna mute my mic for just one moment so that I cannot All right, I'm back. So sorry. I know that was so anticlimactic. Somebody asked, is your name inspired by the book series Pendragon? No, it is not. Is there a man-made Mead in that? Because that would be very funny. My name came from whenever I first started. I was trying to figure out something interesting to put as my name, and man-made Mead just had or something to it. So I thought it was fun. Well, from King Arthur? Did I steal a name? Shouldn't mix that on top of my scale? Why is that? I already measured out. Concord wine. Man, you guys are making some fun stuff. Now I'm going to put this... Oh, crap. This is a multi-person job. You guys get to enjoy some really sketchy... This bag is not wide enough to stretch over this. So when this epic fails, you guys get to watch. I'm trying to put it in the bag so that I can just pull it out. Okay, let's see. Ooh, it smells good though. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Yeah, oh hey, it didn't epic fail. What do you know? Man. Look at that. That's a big bag, but it's all my pineapple. I'm going to tie this to where... Ooh, I got myself honey everywhere. It's done. Tie that to where it'll just stay. Someone asked a question. When does this go from a hobby to a problem? Well, let's see. When does this go from a hobby to a problem? You guys will... I can show you right now when this goes from a hobby to a problem. When your room looks like this, you have gone from a hobby to a problem. Just like that. I will say it takes a while. It does take a little bit to get to that point, though. Need some chip clips to hold that bag on, bruh. Dude. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't watch your 72 ways to become a pro-level mead maker video. Cheers to doing the most. Thanks for any recommendations on my first brew. Make something simple. Grab some apple juice. Grab some sugar, or excuse me, some honey, some wine yeast. That's simple. Make something simple. Or make a standard recipe you find. But don't worry about trying to make like the most insane 32 ingredient brew. How much pineapple did you add? This is about 2 pounds. Oh man, I'm sorry. The chat's going so fast, and I love it, but it does mean that I'm missing things. How do you come up with your recipes? I make my recipes honestly just by taste, just by literal randomness. What happens when I do this? Of course I do. There's some things that just feel like they naturally go together, like apple and cinnamon. But surprisingly, I've had some really interesting brews work out that were weird. So like the weirdest one I made recently was a cranberry honey, pineapple, and hibiscus brew. It surprisingly worked well for what I was going for. I just pitched some Mangrove Jack's MO5, put a lid on. I'll put my airlock on later. I just dry pitched it because I'm being lazy. And now, move my stuff back. Someone said, who said, don't try sweet potato mead for your first one. I wouldn't suggest that either. I don't know that that's a good venture into into making mead. Braden, either Braden knows, or is it Brandon? Braden, yeah. He either knows the meme or he just got perfect timing. Kiwi mead is absolutely a thing. That you can definitely make kiwi mead. Is the chat box working, or has it just been like this the whole time? There it is. Oh, that's funny. I missed something. Someone said something earlier. Just so, Braden, the reason that's funny is because BC, who is doing the most, just jumped in the chat. He's allergic to kiwi. So your timing for him posting something and then posting kiwi mead was great. And then there's a whole backstory of the time that I did not realize, or did not remember rather, that he was allergic to kiwi. Could have had a bad moment. Don't knock it till you try it. I have no problem with kiwi mead. Oh, is it the sweet potato? Hey, whoever, Kyle, if you send me that sweet potato mead, I'll gladly try it. Roasted mango, jalapeno mead. That sounds good. Mead is just great. That is true. You are preaching. That is preaching. We got 41 people in the chat. Holy cow. And I don't even know. I got all my devices going. I don't even know where we're at with likes. Are we anywhere close to that? If I get on my phone, it'll blow everything out. We're also, I might add, because I have decided that this year, 2022, is the year that I'm pushing. I've never really pushed for subs before, but this year I'm trying to push. We're on the road for 50K subs. So if you're not currently subscribed and you're watching this now and or in the future, hit that subscribe button. We need a lot of subscribers to get to 50,000, but it is definitely doable with your help. It's not going to happen magically. Gotta hit that button. So where is it? I have a couple videos that are coming out. So one of them is very interesting to me, and it's going to be pretty stupid, arguably, but. So y'all know I'm kind of the amaretti guy when it comes to mead making, and it's happened that way because they reached out to me like 2 years ago to send me some stuff, and then I said yes, and then ever since then they've always reached out and said, hey, we'd like to send you more stuff. Of course I'm going to take free flavorings, so I have a ton of it. Last time they reached out, they said it was a new person, and he was like, hey, I want to send you some stuff. I said, great. And I said, I'll take whatever you send me. So Homeboy sends me 3 things. Where's my third? There it is. Okay, so he sends me coconut flavoring, which to me, I'm like, okay, that can be usable. Obviously, I've used a little bit for something. Lemon or lime, so this is definitely usable. I could use this with stuff, but the weird one he sent me was Michelada, which, if you know what a Michelada is, it is a tomato-based drink that has normally some like spice in it, like a hot sauce and Worcestershire and other stuff. Well, I did not know what to do with that, and so I tried to make it to a mead, and I'll let you guess how it went. So yeah, that's my fun story. And I still have lots of Amaretti things. That's my video from this past week. I posted an Amaretti one. When's the next Boots and Doots? That's how it happens. BC, I don't know if he's in the chat anymore. When's our next Boots and Doots? So here's the thing. BC's now got a kid. So he kind of rules the roost when it comes to scheduling content between me and him. Previously, prior to Baby Most, we would be able to call each other up and like, hey, come on over, man. But now it's gotten a little bit harder. chokeberry. It's like ashberry. What the heck? What is that? Time to make 20k more accounts and subscribe. Yeah, do it. You just gotta also see. Here's the problem: when you inflate with fake accounts, then the views don't match. So I'm hoping that the views, like, and I see this problem in my channel. Whenever I post a video and I've got 30-something thousand subs, I think the average YouTube like viewership ratio is like 5 to 10%. So then if I get like 2% of my viewers watching, I'm kind of going, ooh, that's not great. Pass your name off to new brewers. Hope you make it by 50k by May. Whoo, that is bold. Oh man, what mead surprised you the most? Honestly, that pineapple hibiscus cranberry blossom was pretty stinking good. But I recently made a mango honey and peach mead. That was amazing. What do you think the best way to try and make a nice, balanced, roasted peanut butter flavored mead? Roasted, like you just want peanut butter? Emeretti works for that. You could also use, it's already open still, but I use this. I have a project I'm working on. This is PB powder, peanut butter powder. This is like peanut butter minus the oil, which is what you want to avoid in brewing. So I use this. Works well if you're going for that. Now the roasted side, I don't know. I'm not. I'll need some help from other people. Saw your channel on Twitter. Get her. Have you ever thought about doing fan-submitted recipes? I kind of do that, actually. There's a thing, a wonderful community called, or on Discord, that is the man-made Mead, Mazers, whatever, community. And we do a series on there where one person makes the recipe, it does everything, it tells me what they want, and then I make it, and we go from there. Sorry, my dog is being loud for a moment. So you hop on over there. I don't really do like just a random YouTube one. It's more so on Discord. Dog Sick Fetches is which, oh, by the way, palate expanders. He just talked about palate expanders. Episode 8 is going to be out next week. So if you enjoy that show, get ready for that. Some things should not be a mead. I would say that's true. Some things should not be a mead. Coconut and pineapple together. That sounds good. You know, I've never made a tincture. Someone asked me earlier. They said, hey, I want to make a tincture. How do I do it? And I was like, I honestly don't have experience doing it. Some things I haven't done in my brewing career so far, I have in my 218 meads I've never done anything with tinctures. I have never made an Acer Glen, which is kind of interesting. I'm trying to think if there's another style I haven't made. I feel like I've made, I don't know. So I've got quite a few. Boots and Doots. This is from Doing the Most. The man himself. He says, Boots and Doots and Mead Stampede announcements go hand in hand. So does that mean, BC, that we're doing one for the announcement to the start of Mead Stampede? I'm putting this in your hands. Brayden asks, does anybody have recommendations for the best honey for a traditional? That's hard to say because the honey varietals are very different from place to place. You know, I could get an orange blossom honey, not here, but I could get a Florida orange blossom honey, and then you could get your, I don't know, Missouri orange blossom honey. I don't know if that's real, but and they'll be very different. So I would say a honey varietal that has distinct character, which means you're not going for wildflowers normally. How do I get an invite? What are you trying to get an invite to? I love the idea for the live stream. Great idea. See, Zach, there you go. Zach's preaching. You started this fire. Not you started, Zach. BC started this fire. Sourdough Mead. What's your dog's name? His name is Boone, and he normally I'd lift him up, but he is calm, and he's taking a nap. So I count that as a blessing right now. So he'll chill out. And now he's looking at me because I said his name. Got my hands on mesquite honey. Not sure what to do with it. Any suggestions? Mesquite honey has real smoky notes, I would say. I pair it with like I would say a lighter fruit could be interesting. Like an apple or a... Ooh, I wonder... No, I don't know if that'd go well. I was thinking peach, but I don't know if peach and mesquite would go well together. Anchovy mead. No. As beekeeper, it's hard to watch honey get dumped into a bucket. That means you have to... But that means you have extra. Thanks. Oh, I see. I was like, wait, why is that bad? Oh, I have lots of honey to use. And so I am trying to use it as best I can. Doing the Most popping in the chat. Go check out Doing the Most. Also, he actually told me the other day he's on the road to 100K subs. When I announced my 50K subs, he was like, you know what? Forget you, man. I'm going for 100K. And I said, oh, okay. We're racing for 100K. So, that's where we're at. Oh, invite to the Discord. Can somebody help me out? I'm not signed in on my Streamlabs. Can someone in the chat, someone who is there... if I mess with my computer right now, everything will explode. So I'm going to avoid that. Type out http /discord.io/manmademead. I'm not being a very good host. Sorry. You should try a mead competition with a prize for the winner. We have a prize for the winner. For ours, at least. Can you tell me a mead that just did not work out for you? Michelada mead did not work out for me. Most of them have come in the form of my Should It Be a Mead series. Skittles was not a good mead combination. Did not work well. Aside from that, there's a bunch of other things, but most of them work decently well. You know, I have my Can It Be a Mead series, and pretty much everything there has worked well. Mesquite and blueberry, that does sound very good. Zach asks, should I add apples or dried apples in secondary if I'm making an apple pie mead? Thoughts on the best way to make an apple pie mead? I have an apple pie boucher mead recipe video. You go check that out. That one is that's the one I would suggest. So good, literally like so freaking good. I got a bottle of it over here that I'm just waiting to open in the future. Blueberry basil, that does sound good. Texas, it's not letting you post the link. That's interesting. Again, I think it's in the description of this video. So I put it there earlier. So you should be able to, whoever's asking, be able to click it. I know you judged a mead contest with Doing the Most and others. When is the next mead contest scheduled, and how do we learn more about it? Wonderful question. That's great. We just had our meeting today to announce the launch of it, and so I'll say our launch date, not our launch, our judging date will be the second week of July. So you got about 5 months. 5.5 months essentially, and there will be, when we launch that, which will be very soon, there will be a website that has your way to enter all of your meads that you want to submit, all of the information on how to ship, where to ship, deadlines, all of that stuff will be posted. You will see something on my channel, on BC's channel, all of those things. Great question. Michelada mead seems close to Meadmosa. No. Not saying. No. I mean, yes, in theory, they are a mead cocktail of sorts, but this thing was gross. Hickory and apples and cinnamon. That sounds good. Yep, it's in the description. Can you post the invite in the description after the stream? Should be there now. Mead Stampede is a wonderful way to get your feet wet in comps. It absolutely is. Speaking of competitions, for the first time in forever, I have entered a competition of my own, and so I kind of entered on a whim. I wanted to enter last year the Mazer Cup, but I was too late. I tried to enter the Texas Mead Cup, but they had filled up all the spots already. So I'm doing the Dorma's Cup, which is, I think it's down in Texas as well. Is it? I can't recall. Anyways, I submitted my apple cinnamon mead recipe, and I'm very curious to see how that one does. So hopefully no one watching this is a judge there. Singmeister, I know you're not watching, but your raspberry muffin, raspberry melomel with graham crackers is fantastic. It is very good. It's got a little heat. I will say that I think give this 6 more months, it will calm down, but you did a great job with raspberry and sweetness level, and the graham cracker just kind of comes in and warms it all up. Very nice. Zach asks, with back sweetening, if you know fermentation is done, is it safe to do without adding stabilizers, or should you always add stabilizers if you plan on adding? Zach, you need to, unless the only way you know that your mead is done fermenting is if you have capped out your yeast. So let's say you start at 1145 for 1.145 as your starting gravity, and it cuts out at 1.030. If it sits there for a while at 1.030 without doing anything else, your yeast have probably capped out and said, hey, I'm done. But let's say you start at 1.100, goes to 1.000. Even if your yeast on the packet says, I'm out at 13%, there's a good chance that they'll re-ferment on new sugars. So I would suggest to always add stabilizers or pasteurize when you are going to back sweeten with a fermentable sugar. The last thing you want is for you to bottle, let's say 45 bottles of a brew, and then 2 months down the road, one of them explodes. Or you open one up to taste and it's super carbonated. There's a good chance that every other bottle is carbonated and you've lost a ton of mead. So play it safe. If you're curious, if you can taste potassium sorbate metabisulfite, I did a whole video on it. You can go find that on YouTube. So it's my suggestion. Ooh, it's Savannah, Georgia. Oh, see, I should know that. I shipped to them. I don't know why I didn't remember that. When should I cold crash? Cold crash when the mead is done fermenting, or when you want to halt fermentation, although cold crashing doesn't always do the best with that. So I normally wait to cold crash until my mead is done, and or when I'm trying to clear it. Is there a good commercial mead? Schramm's is absolutely fantastic. Moonlight Meadery is pretty good. Manic Meadery. Other ones I'm trying to think about. I'm blanking on. Holy crap, someone help me out. What are some other good commercial mead places? Oh no. Schramm's. Superstition Meadery. There's more. I'm just not in the mindset. Is there a way to save mead that tastes like vinegar? Unfortunately, I think at that point you have oxygenated so much that the mead is like, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. And then he turns to vinegar. So, sorry about you. I would say it's dead mead. Thank you so much for the awesome answers. One of the best brew channels on YouTube. You are so kind. Thank you, Zach. That is so nice of you. Does carbonation diminish a mead's flavor? I would not say it diminishes. I would say that it brings more body to brews. That's why lots of people will carbonate 8% and below ABV meads, is because they generally tend to be waterier. That's hard to say. So I would say that it doesn't take away flavor. It does change a little bit. There's a thing, and I believe I'm going to double check my data real fast. Let me look up one thing. Not on my... Okay, so, yes, I'm right. So, when you do carbonate things, there's this thing called carbonic acid, which is something in there, and so that normally brings up a little bit of the brightness of brews. So, it might change that flavor, but nothing too crazy. Super Mead Boy asks, if I stabilize a mead with sorbate and metabisulfite in August, but left it in the carboy, is it still safe to back sweeten and bottle now, or should I re-stabilize it? Theoretically, you have halted fermentation a long time ago, and so it should not come back. Here's a really just wild example. I'm trying to think of some other way to explain this, but if you know your fermentation is done and you stabilize it, essentially it's like you're cutting off the leg of fermentation from those yeast, and they will not re-ferment. But if it's still fermenting and you try to stabilize, there's a chance that they fight back against it. So you should be able to back sweeten safely. Oh, Sap House, you're right. I haven't thought about them in a long time. I need to get something from them. Melovino, Lost Cause, yes. Hierophant, I haven't had anything from them. Chaucer, woo! That's some high quality mead, I'll tell you what. Brimminghorn. Neanderthal Fishing, that's a fun name. Probably, no offense to anyone else in this chat, but that is the most fun name I've seen all night. I just found your channel, and I've gotten more info from your videos than found anywhere else. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I was going to say, sweeten a little more than you normally would to offset the carbonic acid. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Did your peppermint candy cane mead not totally clear yet? But oh, yes. So, hold on. I'm gonna grab a sample of my current batch that is waiting until December. Also, this mead over here that I made, I'll do all my extra stuff later. This one is kind of fun. I say it's fun because it's a different color than the previous ones. I learned something new. Even though I mastered my peppermint recipe, check this out. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see. That is a beautiful shade of green. Also, I'm looking very red. I went for a run earlier. I'm very sunburned. My peppermint mead took a while. I mean, it's clearing up now. It's just setting. Gosh, that's so good. I love this peppermint mead. It's still hot, but... Elijah asks, what is the best commercial mead? What is the best commercial mead? I mean, it's such a cop-out answer, but I think it's the truth. The best one I've had was the Heart of Darkness from Kintram. It was also the most expensive bottle that has ever happened, and shout out to Texas Longhouse Mead for sharing that with me. I don't know if it's worth the $150 that it was. There's some great mead that is much cheaper. Superstition has a lot of great stuff. Sap House has had a lot of great stuff. I've got a second channel that I don't really post on very much. That's Man-Made Mead Extras, where I've done a lot of mead reviews. If you want to go check that out, you can. Bruce says, we just had our first mead house open here in Meadery, I'm guessing. Open here in Huntsville, Alabama, and they're selling out bottles every time. Ooh, the mead community is growing. That is the best news I've heard all night. What do you think about Mead Love Dying? That hit as hard as Betty White. You know what was so sad about Betty White? She was almost 100. Can you imagine being 99 years old in 50 weeks? Now, that's a weird way to say it, but you're 2 weeks off of being 100 years old. It's brutal. 2 weks. Will you be doing anything fun or cool if we get to 50K? I think it'd be fun if you did oak barrel. Yes, I want to do something fun. I'd love to take some ideas on what you guys would like to see. Obviously, they have to be attainable. It can't be like, you go and open a meadery at 50K subs, because that doesn't exactly... it's not a quick thing. But something like a oak barrel, I would love to do like a ginormous giveaway. I have a fun idea for a video. I'm not going to tell you all, because then I'm kind of locked into doing it right now. But it would cost... The problem is it would cost me a lot of money in shipping. So I don't know if I'm ready to pull the trigger on it. But I have a bunch of video ideas that I might try and get out there, but it will take... Honestly, it's going to take quite a bit of support to do it. Dylan says, I enjoy your videos. Very simple. What would a good apple cinnamon mead recipe look like? I've been sampling using apple juice in the base. I'm kind of trying to break away from this, but I really like using real apples in conjunction with apple juice. So I would make apple juice in the base. I would use apple juice in the base, use my honey source of whatever, use like a pretty low and slow fermenting yeast, honestly. Something like a D47 that doesn't go too crazy. And then let that ferment. In the secondary, add, it's a lot of apples, but 3 pounds of apples per gallon, and chop them up and do that thing. That adds some tannic value, some more flavor. It also works best if you stabilize the brew, but every once in a while when you stabilize the wild yeast, if you have not sanitized well, the wild yeast on the apples kick up and revolt and start up. So having stabilized, then adding the apples often will leave you with residual sweetness, back sweeten with honey, add a couple cinnamon sticks. That normally works well for me. Ken Johnson says, doing a dark elf mead of blackberry, Meyer, lemon, ginger, black pepper, rosemary, etc. Lots of flavors. I used 13% yeast. Today I tasted and all the flavors are gone. Do you mean they're just super melded together or actually gone? Because to me, that's a lot of flavors that could not disappear naturally. Not saying that they haven't. But stuff like black pepper, that does not seem like a flavor to me that just whoosh. I wonder if they just melded. You might need a little sweetness to like bring things out. 2021 could not leave without a final screw you. That is true. That is true. Can I send you a beer bottle of one of my meads, not for contest or anything, just for you? For sure. I'll have to put down in the description or at some point put in, I have a P.O. box you can ship to. So I'll do that. I'll put that in there. Make a no water mead at 50K. I'm doing small scale no water mead right now. But doing like a large scale, oh gosh, how would I do that? I guess I'd have to get a fruit press and do brutal. Doing, let's say like a 6-gallon no water blueberry mead do they make a 6-gallon barrel that is aged in a 6-gallon barrel? I don't even know if they make one. Something like that would be fun, though. Giveaway. Video idea, making an English toffee mead, a chocolate-infused Bochet mead. Ooh, that kind of brings me back to one video I have. I really want to make I'll just say it, and if you want to steal my idea, feel free. I want to take meadow foam honey. I want to Bochet it, so I get kind of a roasted, hopefully marshmallow flavor, and then make a s'mores mead using graham crackers, using cacao nibs. I think it'd be interesting to do that. Let's see. Ceylon cinnamon or bust. I watched a video the other day, and somebody was, it was on, where was it? It was on Reddit. Was it Reddit? Or was it on Facebook? I don't know. I'm on too many mead communities. This dude posted a video, or a picture of his 1-gallon carboy, and he had, I kid you not, 7 or 8 cinnamon sticks in a 1-gallon carboy. And he's talking about mixing Ceylon and Cassia cinnamon, I'm sure they taste different. But 8 cinnamon sticks for 1 gallon? Woo! That's nuts. Have you ever tried any traditional mead recipes like Viking mead? Like a wild yeast, leave it out in your backyard kind of mead? I haven't done one of those. I've done a wild yeast off of blueberries. It was fine. Just not like manageable. I think the big thing with modern mead making methods at this point is that you want to be able to repeat the thing that happened. I have a whole video I've made. I started a mead. I haven't recorded anything about the mead. I've recorded some recipe stuff, but like not really that well. And I'm gonna make a video out of it. And the whole point of the video is to show you that when you or the Vikings just throw honey, throw stick throw water into a brew, you're given like 5% of the information you need to really make that brew. So this video is going to be like that, essentially. It's saying you can't ever repeat this mead because I can't tell you the recipe. Just how it works. I think I missed something. If you have access to cider apples or crab apples, make a huge difference to boost the apple flavor. Yes, you're right. Someone said, Quinn just said, I just found out my local Dollar Tree sells pop-top bottles that look to be about 350 milliliters. Are they corked or are they, or I guess pop-top? I don't know. That seems sketchy. What do you think the optimum time to let meads age? Every mead is different. If it's a big-bodied mead, it could take years. If it's a 7%er, it could take 2 months. Every mead is different. There's no great answer. I'm sure it's like, I'm not a parent, but I'm sure it's like trying to read a parenting book and assuming that all the tips in the parenting book will make your kid perfect. It's like, well, your kid's probably special. That's how it works. What's a no water mead? Meaning that you take fruit and you squeeze the crap out of it until it's only the juice from the fruit. It's kind of like apple juice, like if you use 100% apple juice. But most people do no water brews with like pears or blueberry, and you have to use like 3 to 4 times the amount of fruit to get a gallon of liquid, and they're just way more expensive. They make a 6-gallon glass carboy. Yes, they do. I'm all the way backwards. Hot chocolate mead. Ooh, that sounds good. Ever try to backsweeten with xylitol or any non-fermentable sugar? I've used erythritol. It works well. I would suggest that if you're trying to backsweeten safely, use erythritol, use xylitol, use something that can't be fermented on if you're bottle carbonating it. Now, if you are fortunate enough to have a fourth carbonation system, kegging essentially, then do that. But I would not suggest to just start willy-nilly throwing things in. Cacao nibs and cinnamon candy mead, bark mead. Interesting. All right, guys, I said I was going to do an hour. I didn't say it out loud to you, but mentally I said I was going to do an hour because I've recorded a couple videos. I'm going to go ahead and get some videos edited tonight. I want to ask one question, and there are 36 people in the chat right now. Now, some of you are probably busy, but I want to know from my 36 viewers, what is one mead video type or series you want to see more of from me in 2022? This is the first Mead live stream that I've done in 2022. What do you want to see more of for this year? And I open the floodgates. Love the live streams. Thank you, Zebrafish. I see 36 people still in the chat, which means I'm gonna watch this count go down as people try and escape my question. And I'm a teacher, so I'm real good at making you feel awkward until you answer the question. Streamer's choice is not an answer. You can't do that. 34. People are bailing out. A lot of people want to see more yeast shootouts. Someone updating mead basics. Traditional comparisons. Ooh, I have a fun video on that coming out soon. I'm a couple meads away from being able to do my project. Traditional mead project. Mad scientist, crazy ideas. Research episodes. Basics and recipes. Acer Glen. Ooh, I need to make an Acer Glen. That will be another one for the year. That will be one. Palette expanders. I got 2 episodes of that coming out. BC and I have started making those. Brandon, I'm super glad I could help you guys out. Help you out. Hey, friends, I am so thankful to get to chat with you. As long as I can do this and commit the time to it that to make good content, I will do so. So I promise you that you will see more Mead content coming in the future. Thank you for supporting the channel. We are on the road to 50K, and I'm going to keep pushing this all year. Mathematically speaking, we've got to get a lot of subscribers per month, and so what you can do is to help the channel is to share some content. If you find a video and you have a friend who's even semi-interested, just say, hey, go watch this video. I have a couple beginner-friendly mead videos that I think will hopefully help people start making mead. They just got to make one. That's why you guys are all here. You made one mead, and now you are stuck. So, I hope you have a wonderful evening, wonderful Saturday evening, or if you're one of my Russian friends who's currently awake at 4 or 5 a.m., have a wonderful day. I will catch you guys in the future, and cheers.